Good morning. All right. Good morning. So have a mat, a bolster, a blanket, and a strap. And Carmen, if it's possible to back up your camera just a little bit so that I can see more of you. And a horizontal view is good if you can give me a horizontal view. That's better. All right, do you have some blankets? If you don't have blankets, you could use blocks. Or a couch cushion, any kind of cushion. So that's something not too thick, not too thin. Yeah. So then the strap is on the mid upper thigh. Snug, but not like super snug. Have the buckle in the front so you can easily adjust it.
I don't have a strap today. Is there anything else that I can use?
You can just skip the strap. Or if you have like a bathrobe tie or something, that's fine.
Yes.
You know, or a tie, that's also fine.
Great, thanks.
And then, some kind of height under your back. All right. So you could use towels. Do you have 2 blocks? You'll need some blankets, towels, something. Okay. So from here, with the strap on the mid upper thigh, then lie back. Chest is higher than the hips. Head is supported. Head is higher than the chest. Head is higher than the chest. Not to let the head drop back. So have something for your head. And the block under your back should be under your upper back, not your lower back. Upper back. Upper back. Yeah. Under your rib cage. All right. So then, if you have the strap, have it a little snug, not super tight, but pretty tight. All right, and then extend your legs straight out. First, extend your legs straight out. Make sure you're centered on your mat. Then release the little toes to the floor. Now, you might need to kind of catch your outer shin to get the outer calf muscle rolling toward the midline, so that your skin is not caught there. All right, so the legs can completely release. You can take your glasses off. I have my glasses on so I can watch you for another minute or so. Now, with your hands, scoot the buttocks under. So like with my thumbs, I'm sort of flicking the buttock under so that my low back is lengthened and widened. And then roll the upper arm bones out. First, extend the fingers with the palms up, the hands alongside the mat. Extend the fingers so that you can really move the shoulders down away from the ears. Then soften your elbows, release your elbows toward the floor, but maintain external rotation of the upper arm bone so that the hands are rolling more toward the thumb side than the little finger side. From here, rest now. Outer thighs release, outer shins release, little toes release. Soft elbows, soft abdomen. Descend the shoulders. Broaden across the collarbones. Feel your back spreading on your support. and just normal breathing here. Okay, so start with Shavasana and normal breathing here. Make sure that you're not tilting to one side or the other. Make sure there's no pinching, no catch, nothing distracting you. Everything should be arranged such that there's no disturbances. And allow the breath to settle into a soft and steady rhythm. Nothing special with the breath right now. Just settle. Soft and steady breath through the nose. Observe the abdomen effortlessly rising and falling. Notice that the moment you turn your attention to the breath kind of primps itself. It makes itself a little bit neater, a little bit smoother. But don't try to force the breath into any shape right now. Just allow the breath to settle into a soft, steady rhythm. Breathing in and out through the nose. 100% through the nose. But soft, so it's not a harsh breath through the nostrils. It's soft, like you can barely feel it. As you settle into Salamba Shavasana, supported corpse pose, now feel the soles of your feet. Just become aware of the skin on the soles of the feet. And imagine that the breath is entering through the soles of your feet. Inhaling through the soles of the feet, through the legs, all the way up into the chest. And then exhaling that same passage down through the trunk, through the pelvis, through the legs, and out through the feet. Continue in this manner. You might feel like a little warmth or tingling in your feet. So continue this breath that starts with the feet. The breath coming through the soles of the feet. All the way up through the legs, all the way up through the trunk, rib cage, to the pit of the throat, and then making its way back down. Let it be soft and steady. As you begin to pay attention, more attention to the breath, it will tend to slow down. So go with that now. Allow the breath to slow down. Invite the breath to slow down. And as it slows down, let it become even softer. So it's not like a slow, harsh breath. It's a very slow and very soft breath. Like a breeze that you can barely feel. In through the soles of the feet, feel it traveling up the legs, through the pelvis, through the trunk. Feel the expansion of the chest as it receives the breath, and then let it go softly, slowly. It naturally deepens, but don't immediately go for the deep breath. Let it develop. Let it develop, cultivate the breath through the legs, through the feet, through the entire trunk. Of course, we don't literally have lung tissue in all these different parts of the body, but we definitely have pranic flow. So the energy flow. The breath is just a metaphor for the prana. The prana is the life force. The breath is the vehicle and the metaphor for the prana, but prana goes beyond the breath. So as you continue, cultivate that slow, soft, gradually deepening breath through the legs, into the trunk, conveyed all the way into the chest. Feel the chest expanding to receive the breath. And then the chest reluctantly deflating as you exhale, reluctantly, gradually. The strap is to kind of narrow the passage, is to put a boundary on the passage, to concentrate the prana a little bit. If you don't have the strap, don't worry about it. But just so you know, the strap is to kind of contain the passage of the prana, contain the channel, putting banks on the river. Now, you might find that at the top of the inhale, a natural pause emerges, a natural kumbhaka. So if that's happening, then go with it. If it's not happening, don't worry about it. Just continue with this rhythm. But if you find yourself pausing at the top of the mountain, stay there for just a few seconds, 3, 4, 5 seconds, not long, because you don't want to create strain. Not now. And then let it go. Exhaling slowly. So this is Bahya, Abhyantara, Ujjayi. This is Ujjayi stage 4. Now you might also find that at the end of the exhale, there's a natural pause. So if that's happening, then go with it. And stay in that emptiness for just a few seconds. If you're not finding that natural pause, don't worry about it. Just keep going. Just keep the steady rhythm of the Bahya Abhyantara Ujjayi. But the goal here is to feel the engagement of the legs in the breath, to feel how the legs are connected to the trunk and how the prana flows through the legs. Ask yourself, how do my legs contribute or participate in the movement of the breath? It's not like they're actually moving. The legs are not actually moving or doing anything visible. But see if you can discern for yourself what's happening in my legs as I breathe in and out. Now, finish this cycle of Bahya Abhyantara Ujjayi, and then return to your resting breath. Do you remember how your resting breath was? Just a simple abdominal breath, no effort, no programming, no mediation, just soft, passive, unmediated resting breath after this cycle is done. So I didn't ask for your legs to be involved in your resting breath, so the legs will just kind of return to their quiet state. And the abdomen will gently, effortlessly rise and fall. So in the resting breath, the breath doesn't necessarily travel all the way up to the chest, pit of the throat, like we do in Ujjayi. All right, from here, bring your hands to rest on your abdomen, one at a time. And then bend your legs, bring your knees up. Alice, you can loosen the strap. Roll to your right side, roll off your support to your right side. Just rest on your right side for a few breaths, letting the back return to normal. Then pushing your hands into the floor, sit up. All right. So sit on your bolster or your block facing the camera. Have a blanket handy or a towel or something. And then sit. All right, so from here, just first extend your legs straight out in front of you. And move your buttock flesh back so that you're right on the sitting bones. Sit up nice and tall. Today is the 17th, it's an odd numbered day, so I alternate the cross of my legs. So today this left leg will come in first, then the right leg. Left leg, then the right leg. In Swastikasana. Have the cross at the center of the shins, because the cross of the legs determines the angle of the pelvis. And so when my legs are crossed at the center of the shins, my knees are uneven. So I'll take the blanket and support under the lower knee so that the legs can be more even. All right? Okay, now press your hands down into your bolster or your block or what have you. Press your hands down, sit up very, very tall. Feel the knees, feel the front thighs lengthening forward and down. So not pulling the knees up, but have a feeling of the knees flowing forward and down. And from there, feel the outer thighs plugging into the hip sockets. When you get that feeling, it should make you feel like the spine is getting taller. The spine is kind of shooting up when you do that, when that outer thigh pulls into the hip sockets as the inner thigh lengthens forward and down. Feel the spine get maybe an inch taller. Bring the sacrum, you can put your hand on your sacrum, bring your sacrum from back to front, but not so far forward that your navel comes forward. The navel has to stay pulled up and back as the sacrum pulls forward and up. And keep pressing your hands down into your support and roll the shoulders back. Quite a lot. Feel the back of the armpit travel to the front of the armpit, and the front of the armpit roll up and back to get that spread of the chest. So because the chest is the container, is the vessel for the breath, the vessel for the prana. So we want to get that container to be very expansive. Now, keep your hands pressing down and bring your head down. Not to let the shoulders roll forward when the head comes down. Roll the shoulders back. I have my glasses on just so I can watch you, but you should have your glasses off so that your sense of vision is muted. Spread across the collarbones. Descend the shoulders. Observe your shoulder blades. They should be moving down and forward. The sacrum is also moving forward and pulling up so that the entire spine is lifting up even though your head is down. So the head, it breaks the vector of the spine lifting and by bringing a full stop to that lift and instead creating flexion here at the cervical spine. Gaze at your chest and see that the nose is in line with the center of the chest. And now close your eyes. Close your eyes, let the upper eyelid descend, soften the jaw. Stay very tall. So this is quite active. This is not a passive pose. This is quite active. Keep the hands, the arms firm, rolling the shoulders back. Draw the sacrum forward. Draw the shoulder blades down and forward. Feel the lift of the chest that's coming from the arm action. Make sure the legs are coming, the inner thighs lengthening toward the knees, toward the floor, and the outer thighs drawing into the hip sockets to get taller and taller. So we're creating a very strong frame. We're creating a strong house for the prana. Now, bring your head up. Release your hands. Release your legs. So that was just the seat. Release your legs. We're going to do the other side and then we'll add the breath, okay? So the seat has to be very, very strong. Prana is strong. The life force is strong. And so we want to have a nice, a good container for it, a strong vessel. Bring your right leg in now, then your left leg. I'm not mirroring you. And then support your left knee so that the legs can be more level. All right, and then now let's recreate the seat here, and then we're going to add the breath. So press your hands down, get very, very tall. Feel the inner thighs lengthening toward the knees. Feel the outer thighs pulling into the hip sockets, sacrum forward and up, shoulder blades down and forward, navel up and back, head down, Jalandhara Bandha. Throat soft, jaw soft, face soft. Bring the chest and chin closer and closer together. Keep your hands pressing down. Take a slow, soft inhale. Take a slow, soft exhale. We're just sweeping the path clear. We're preparing. Another slow, soft inhale. And a slow, soft exhale. Now this exhale, extend it. Extend the pause. And then drawing up through your legs, like a slight squeeze of your legs, inhaling. Draw the breath up from the earth through the legs into the trunk. Draw the breath all the way up and through the trunk to the chest, to the pit of the throat. And then start to let it go. Start a slow, soft exhale. Downward. Feel the breath. Let the breath drain into the legs and then drain into the floor. And take a recovery breath. Slow, soft inhale. Slow, soft exhale. One more recovery breath. Inhaling and exhaling. This time, exhale completely, exhale deeply, extend the pause. We're signaling to the body that something new is going to happen. And now inhale through the legs. So feel like a little compactness of the legs coming, and then keep inhaling through the trunk. Feel the chest receive the breath. Feel the chest move toward the chin as you continue the inhale. At the top of the inhale, feel that whole lift and expansiveness of the chest region. And now exhale slowly. Reluctantly emptying. And feel the breath moving down into the legs and then into the earth. And now take a recovery breath. Bahya Abhyantara Ujjayi. And then another recovery breath. And we'll repeat that, Ujjayi. Exhale completely. Extend the pause. Inhale through the legs, through the pelvis, through the trunk, all the way up to the top of the chest, all the way up to the armpits, all the way up to the collarbones, chest moving toward the chin. And then exhaling slowly, reluctantly, maintaining that expansion, maintaining that height. Drain the legs, drain the breath into the legs, drain the legs into the earth. Take a recovery breath. And do 2 more cycles on your own. 2 more cycles of Bahya Abhyantara Ujjayi. It's very active, it's very tall, it's very expansive. This is not at all a passive breath, it's a very active breath. And take your time. Take your time, but don't be so forceful that you create strain. Feel how the breath is rising through the legs into the trunk, and then as you exhale, return the breath to the legs, and then release the legs into the earth. Feel that connection. After your 2 Bahya Abhyantara Ujjayi, then return to normal breathing. Bring your head up. When you're done, with your eyes closed. And when you're done, rest your hands on your lap. And just sit quietly for a moment. Just sit quietly and notice the state of the prana. Notice the shape of the prana. Notice sort of the temperature of the prana. Where it's touching, where it's not touching. All right, then stretch your legs straight. So that was just a little bit, but it's a lot, you know, because this stuff is very potent. It's very potent. So a little goes a long way. All right, so go ahead and lie down now, flat on your back. And rest now. Palms up. Just make sure everything is soft now. So that was a lot of what we did today requires, you know, a lot of strength, a lot of support. Glasses off. That you had to create for yourself. So now just let that go. Now you can just be passive. Now you can just enjoy the effect of the prana. You can just receive the effect of the prana now. And hopefully you'll find that half an hour of pranayama really can give you energy for the whole day. It so happens that the sun is rising at this time also. So we're matching up our own pranic flow with the pranic rhythm of the earth, which is very beautiful because then we can be synchronized with the sun and the earth. So as the prana of the earth is rising, your personal inner prana is also rising. And then as a group, our collective prana is rising. So it's a beautiful way of being in community. Allow the breath to be just passive and resting now. Don't try to do anything special with the breath. Let it be so soft, so effortless. Let also the legs be completely passive and soft, nothing special. Now I encourage you to stay in Shavasana for a few more minutes or as long as you are able. Our time has come to an end, but you can stay longer if you wish. Hope you have a wonderful day. Take good care, everybody.